not we, the cabinet. Second-hand cabinet at that. We, the chair. Oh, let's talk to a chair. Chairs don't talk back. Well, that seems to be the policy of this council. They don't like debate. They don't like anything being looked at. And when they do, their defence is farcical. Almost anybody who is trying to get through to Lewes and Eastbourne District Council offices will know the frustration of the phone system. So, one councillor had the temerity the other night to get up and say, hey, the phone system isn't working, and in fact I had a constituent with me and I was trying hard to get through to get an answer and I couldn't. Oh, somebody bounds up, and I don't know whether he's from the executive or he was from one of the parties, because there is no question that seems to be no division within the council so that you can tell who's who. Oh, don't worry, he said, we're on to that, it'll be fixed soon. Well, they said that 6 months ago in front of the scrutiny committee. They said that a year ago when the problem became very obvious. And they'll be saying it in another year. And in the meantime, what happens is the councillors, the leading councillors anyway, manage to slip in every bit of debate, so it'll be recorded as our fine officials. Well, if you think they're fine officials, it's time for you to resign, because you haven't got a clue about what it's all about. You are there to make sure we get efficient government, not to be matey with the boys, not to allow yourselves to be buffaloed with this nonsense. It is just indicative. There are lots of other things that are wrong, but it's indicative. The phone system doesn't work. And for you to ignore it and to put down one of your own who raises it is... I was going to say criminal, but I shouldn't say that. It's inexcusable. Let's use that word. It's inexcusable. And it's about time you got off your... instead of being pulled by the string, the puppet's on a string, so when somebody pulls a string, you all stand up together, and you all put your hand up, and you all vote. Let's get some honest divisions. Let's get some honest debate. Because if we don't, what we're going to do is we're going to have a council that is going to get worse and worse and worse, not better and better and better. Now, the unfortunate thing is, when people go to the polls, is they don't pay much attention to this, so you lot sit there and you know very well the chances are most of you will be back and you'll carry on in the same way. But, dear old Boris Johnson, Harvard University and a good many other people are beginning to question the way that we're governed. They are beginning to question that we are getting good governance because there is no challenge. Nobody is trying to keep you straight. And when that happens, all the evidence is that we get poor governance and we get higher taxes and we get all-round dissatisfaction with what's going on. Well, does that sound as if it might apply to Lewes? I think it does. Anyway, there is an issue this morning of in Lewes Present, one of the groups. And if you don't belong to a group, you'll find them for your own area. There are two, I think, in Seaford. There are two in Newhaven. There are at least two in Lewes, a couple in Eastbourne. And going further afield, there's one in Hailsham, there's one in Pevensey. I haven't quite got as far as Hastings, but and Battle, I know that there are a group there who are very concerned about what's going on. So join a group, because yes, you can find your lost cat with them, but you can also report those things which are going wrong and start a debate. And this is where debate is taking place. And luckily, when it starts at grassroots, that's when it overtakes those at the top who are trying to stifle it. And the debate at the moment in Lewes Present is about unauthorised hacking down of trees and bushes and grass and all sorts of things that was home to various forms of nature leading up to the racecourse. Now, the response from the council was, oh dear. Well, don't worry, it'll be looked after next time. Now, once again, I keep mentioning Councillor Ruth O'Keefe, and believe me, Ruth and I have had our differences in the past. We've crossed swords. So I'm not boosting her because I'm a great admirer. I am boosting her because I admire her spirit and the fact that she's willing to go to bat. And she has tucked into this debate in Lewis Present. So if you are a member of Lewis Present, take a look. And if you're not, become a member of Lewis Present. Get with it. Get involved. Because if we're not a community that cares, if we're not a community that will yell and shout and stamp our feet, we get what we deserve. That's the whole point. We get what we deserve. I am glad that sometimes I was watching the rugby in the Brewers Arms one afternoon, not the Six Nations. It was just before Christmas, and some very delightful people who were at the same table, and we exchanged pleasantries, and we yelled at the referee, and we yelled at the teams, and so on and so forth. And it was all a jolly good occasion. And as they got up, it was obvious that they were rushing for some sort of transport. And I said, "Where are you going back to?" And one said, "I'm going back to Seaford." And he said, he said, "We listen to you down there." And I'm thinking of throwing my hat into the ring for politics. Can't remember his name, but do it. Get involved in politics. And not all of us want to be involved in politics, and I don't blame you. It's a murky, bloody world. But what we can do is we can make sure that our vote counts, and that we don't just go along like lemmings and vote for somebody who sounds nice or we've known forever. Ask the questions. Ask the questions about what they plan to do for your community. And one of the things that you've got to understand is that it's the executive that actually do things. It's the executive that collect the waste. It's the executive that run the phone system. It's the executive that do the practical things on the ground. At the moment, most of the councillors are not pushing them to do what they're supposed to do because they're matey. Let's be pals with the officers. Ask your local candidate how they're going to behave on your behalf in dealing with the executive, dealing with the people, the civil servants, if you like, the Sir Humphreys. Because if somebody doesn't deal with them, they'll be out of control. I really mean that. And I don't want to be governed by an unelected group. Because the elected group are either too secretive or too timid or don't even understand what the system is all about to do anything. Oh, I am enjoying myself this morning. Let's see what we can find to, once again, let's see. There's something off Fern that I've played before. I can't remember it. Let's try it. I'm doing what I say that councillors shouldn't do, and ignoring my audience, ignoring the people that matter to me. Because I'm playing music to calm me down this morning. I don't know what it's doing for you, but oh, I am loaded for bear. But mainly because of the fantastic reaction I've had to my reflection piece, which is still on Facebook, but even if it's not, if you can't find it there, you can find it on miradortelevision.com. My view of a council meeting I attended on Monday night. And the fact is that it got me excited, got me hot under the collar. And that's why, having thought about it for 24 hours or so, I'm getting a pretty damn uppity about it. I'm becoming the old Keith curmudgeon. I'm becoming the old fart who tells it like it is. But only so you can disagree, because let us debate, let us argue, because they're not doing it in the council. They sure as hell have forgotten what debate is all about, and the leader is very proud that people don't yell and shout at one another anymore. Sorry, Gov. Honest debate is what it's all about. And let me leave you with this little story. That when he was president, Richard Nixon visited Britain and was invited to sit in a little box at the back of the House of Commons, so that it appears that guess that they are actually part of the debate. Because once you're in the cockpit of debate, the fierce debate in the House of Commons, it is a quite extraordinary feeling. And he was there at Prime Minister's question time. And after 2 or 3 minutes, he said to his aide, "Get me out of here, get me out of here." And he stormed, "If anybody thinks that we'll ever have that sort of debate in the United States, they've got another thing coming." Well, we need that sort of debate here. And if you're trying to calm it down, you're doing nobody a favour. Mr. Chair, members of the Cabinet, I'm sorry if there is disdain in my voice. There is meant to be. Okay, I think it's time to go. Before I get carted away to either the loony bin or to prison. One of the two. I've been threatened with both. So, till tomorrow, and I hope that you'll join me, and I hope that perhaps you'll share, if you listen to this broadcast, share with other people who might be concerned about the fact that we're losing democratic government. Toodle pip.